Hi guys, before we get started with this, I just want to apologise for Callum being in a separate screen. For some reason, the Zoom did not let him in the immersive screen. I am going to be looking into that. So again, I do apologise. Please enjoy this video. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Last Fan Standing News. I am Tyler Mumbles Woodward. I am joined by Callum Bruce. Callum, how you doing, mate?
Very well, Mr. Mumbles. How are yourself?
I'm all right, apart from some of the news that broke last night, but we will get into that later on. But first, I have got a few things coming from Fightful. So, the new NXT talent show. Right. This is a weird one. So, Fightful Select report. In news that I'm absolutely sure everyone was expecting, we are told that NXT held a talent show for their roster at the WWE Performance Center on Wednesday afternoon. We've heard that there was everything from singing to stand-up comedy, and that the show was mandatory to attend, but was a morale boost for some, and it seemed to go over well. There were no official winners announced, besides the lucky audience, that is. Right. Okay. I think I think I'm reading too much into this, but by the sounds of it, it's just there to boost morale and not be an actual thing.
I believe so as well. If speculation is to be true, this might just be a team building exercise just to see how everyone reacts and kind of just to build character. Because you have with NXT, you have many personnel coming from many different backgrounds, and you might want to, and not everyone will know everyone, and it's probably just to boost morale. And so the writers and Shawn Michaels and Triple H can look at who they've got, who's going to work well together, and probably build the next 6 to 9, maybe even the next 2 years worth of television.
Yeah, it could. Like you said, it could.
If this was going to be real, I believe they may have shown this might be just like a network / Peacock special, like the Stone Cold podcast, like the A&E show that they're doing just now, just something like.
I personally think if they was to ever put this on a network or anything like that, this would be a regression of what NXT is today.
Oh yeah, you're definitely going back to early days NXT where it was just seasonal, and
you don't want to go back to that.
No, we don't want to go back to talent show. We've got Tough Enough for that sort of pitch.
But even still, they don't do Tough Enough anymore.
True.
So all it is tryouts now.
Yeah.
I would like to see Tough Enough come back.
True.
Because you can integrate that into NXT as well. You can have like the winner gets an NXT developmental deal, and they get put in a title scene or something like that. Like the first.
True. I can understand where you're coming from, because wasn't the original Tough Enough had Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, and they ended up getting developmental contracts.
Yeah, but I think that should come back, because Tough Enough was good because it gave eyes on new talent. Not everyone watched it. Not everyone watched Tough Enough, but it still gave people a chance to be in front of a crowd of peers and coaches. Like Paige was a coach in there. Billy Gunn was a coach. I think Matt Bloom was a coach at one point. Chris Jericho was a coach.
Miz.
It's you could make it into like NXT Evolved, but you don't want it to feel like a regression. You want it to still feel like a progression of NXT of what it is now. So
yeah, I can
I
understand.
wouldn't mind seeing Tough Enough coming back. Obviously, there's no reports to say that, so don't go quoting on me. Don't go.
This is not gospel.
Yeah, don't go quoting Tyler Woodward of Last Man Standing claims that Tough Enough is coming back. One, I don't have any sources, and two, I am not smart enough for that. But anyway, moving on.
I know that for a fact.
Shut up. Moving on. Impact, big Slammiversary update. So, Impact Wrestling Slammiversary has quickly gained the reputation as the place of being where free agent names will pop up. After it happening last year with the likes of the Good Brothers, Eric Young, Brian Myers, Fight. Gone.
Cass.
Yeah, it's basically the place where they've been able to reinvigorate their careers.
Yeah, we don't really want to call it a dumping ground, but TNA Impact has a
reputation for it.
record of taking former WWE stars, doesn't matter where they've been on the card, and pushing them to new heights in their career.
Yes.
Think of Kurt Angle. Think of, I'm going to say Booker T, because he became world champion.
Yeah.
Have a look of Foley. He reinvigorated his career. Have a look at, I'm trying to think. Heck, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe,
there is so many people go through either Impact and then go to WWE, or they go to Impact, reinvigorate their career, and then probably end up back in WWE. But let's continue.
Woods.
Let's continue with the story.
Example.
Let's continue with the story. Fightful has been able to confirm with Impact sources there are at least 2 surprises planned for the show, with outside names making their way to the company, including one already under contract elsewhere and one recent WWE release. Fightful has also been told to expect a vigoration of the Knockouts division in July. I think the Knockouts division do need some new faces. Probably some old faces of the Knockout, the old Knockouts division, like Mickie James, for example. Yeah. Because they have teased her on TV with a trash bag with Kira Hope, with Fire and Favor.
Yeah.
See, look at me talking about Impact.
What have I done to you? What have I done to you?
What has happened to me? This is everyone. So everyone that's followed me on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere, I used to hate Impact with a passion. But over the last year and a half, I've actually started to enjoy it. This was even before Kenny came in. Yeah. I've actually started to enjoy Impact. I don't watch.
This is my influence on you.
But like I watched some of the YouTube clips as well. Like I watched Josh Alexander versus TJP. Excellent Iron Man match.
That is a spicy meatball.
That was a chef's kiss of a match. But I think we're going to see the Iconics come in.
Yes, because they have just patented their new tag team name, supposedly.
Oh, I didn't know that. They've also, I know, I really should read Twitter. To be fair, I should read Twitter, but I also follow SRS and all the other people.
You follow SRS, you follow Cultaholic, Wrestle Talk.
I follow I basically follow everyone.
Come on.
I've got notifications. I've literally turned notifications on for Louis, for SRS, Alex McCarthy, and everything like that, because everything that comes out through them, those are. I always say that SRS, Louis Danker, Alex McCarthy, sometimes or Andrew Zarian as well. Those kind of like a group of people are really trustworthy when it comes to their news. And I want to give Meltzer, yes. Meltzer, yes, but the Observer's like formatting is like absolutely insane. Like he takes forever to get to the bloody point.
Yeah. But it's Uncle Dave. Come on.
Yeah. But again, I'm going to give a shout out to them guys because I subscribed to Fightful Select about 3 weeks ago or something like that.
Near enough a month.
About that. And it's great. Honestly, it's great. Fightful Select. Go subscribe to Fightful Select. Fightful Select if you don't want to listen to us talk about it. But of course, you want to stay here and listen to us talk about it. Anyway, Fightful will have another update on Mr. Jeff Hardy.
Ooh.
Jeff Hardy has been used I'm not even going to try it again. He's been used a handful of times by WWE over the last.
That's the one we're trying to find.
That's the one. Over the last several months, even after re-signing with WWE last year. Throughout the year, WWE have made alterations and changes to several contracts, and Jeff Hardy's deal was either restructured, re-signed, or extended. He spoke openly about wanting no more words as part of the deal, which we were told lasted until the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023. Yeah. WWE is able to add injury time to a deal, which they've actually done with Jeff Hardy before re-signing. Okay, we all know no more. We all know Jeff Hardy has wanted no more words to come back for so bloody long.
They've been wanting it since the split of the Hardy Boys, which at the time was it the best idea? Probably not, but
no. But having no more words come back is great because that song is awesome.
Yeah.
Especially with fans coming back. They need to have a big pop. They need something that's gonna pop the crowd big time, and having no more words there. And that could come with a push as well.
Because Jeff's on what, SmackDown just now?
Raw.
On Raw.
As you can tell, nobody watches Raw. Well, they do.
Why have I got a feeling Survivor Series? Look for us on Raw. Look for us on SmackDown.
Yeah.
How many years have they fought each other?
Yeah. I think we're going to get Edge versus Seth Rollins first before we.
That's happening at SummerSlam. I'm just thinking it's Survivor Series for a brand match. You have Jeff Hardy versus Edge.
Yeah, we could do.
Maybe the Survivor Series tag team match. Maybe that may happen.
There is money on the table there, but again, it's mental. To be quite honest with you, I think having Jeff Hardy still on the books and not do anything with that guy is criminal.
No,
absolutely criminal. Jeff Hardy, yes, I get it. Jeff Hardy is in his early 40s.
Early to mid 40s.
Early to mid 40s, but he can still go. He still makes these crazy bumps. Yes, he's had the problems in past with drug abuse and all that. But you have him on the card, you have him sober, you have him healthy, ready to go. Why don't you use him? Jeff Hardy was one of my favorite wrestlers, still is one of my favorite wrestlers.
He's still within my top 10. And I've been watching wrestling for the past 20 on and off the past 20 years. Exactly.
It's like Rey Mysterio. You can't beat
Rey Mysterio.
Exactly, but you cannot have a bad match with any of those guys. To be quite honest, unless you're Jinder Mahal, because he can have a bad match with freaking everyone.
Correction, I have seen Jeff Hardy matches. He's only had one bad match in his career.
Victory Road. Okay, that is the only asterisk on his career.
That's the only asterisk on his
every other match has been great, apart from that one and any match he has with Jinder Mahal, because you have to carry Jinder Mahal to a good match anyway.
Very much true.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on, because we've talked too much about Jinder and he doesn't deserve the credit he gets.
Don't hit the Jinder.
I hate Jinder with a passion. I might have to do that as a rant as well. Why I hate Jinder.
Oh, fuck.
Right. The Joey Janela Drake anti-mask situation. Okay. Joey Janela has made waves this week by showing up at a Somali County School Board where Drake Wirtz regularly attends. Janela told the Wrestling Perspective podcast, releasing Friday, that he hadn't even decided to attend midway through the meeting. He went and got some appropriate clothes and sped to the meeting. And it said that Drake immediately recognized him, knew who he was and why he was there, and was polite to him during and after the experience. Janela said that he got a lot of people that actually worked into thinking he was an anti-masker. Okay, I'm gonna say this now. I was one of those guys.
You were wrapped around his little finger. When you saw this on Twitter, you honestly thought Janela was an anti-masker, even though at the time he had worked you and played you like a fucking fiddle.
He worked me into a shoot.
Oh God,
I'm not lying to you. He worked me into a shoot. I'm not going to spend much time. Well, we shouldn't really spend much time on this story. I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious the fact that
it's Joey.
But exactly, it's Joey Janela. I should have really expected better from Joe. I really should expect it was a work, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I should have. But there you go. Drake is a twat. Yes, he's probably crediting CCW and stuff like that, but he's absolute. Oh, I'm not going to swear because yeah.
I don't worry, I have so.
I'm holding my swears for this episode. You know, I've got to be professional.
Of course, I've got to be. That's why I turned into it. I was going to be professional as well, but
right, yeah. Before we started recording, Callum decided to put a tie on with the white top that he's got on right now. Right, news on the Diamond Mine, not Diamond Mind. Diamond Mine made their long-awaited debut on NXT, which we were told was a big part of NXT increasing their focus on the cruiserweight division, which we'll get to in a bit. Throughout the summer, Fightful has learned that the Diamond Mine has been planned for months, even well before Roderick Strong quit in storyline on NXT TV. There were actual plans to debut the stable well before, but it was moved back more than one occasion for it to take center stage on an episode of NXT. We will reiterate at no point during any part of the planning to involve Tessa Blanchard or Parker Boudreaux, which were purely fueled by fan speculation. We have been told that other members have been discussed, however. Okay. Diamond Mine looked awesome on NXT on Tuesday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they only came out to attack Kushida, but they looked awesome.
Yeah, very much true.
They've made an instant impact by going after one of the main champions in NXT.
Very much true.
So there is still time for them to do it. But anyway, Callum, what is your thoughts on Diamond Mine?
So Diamond Mine consists of Tyler Rust, Roderick Strong, and Hideki Suzuki, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's the one. Suzuki's long lost son, as I put it on the other day.
all of them, and it actually has Malcolm Bynes, aka Stokely Hathaway. Now, Roderick Strong, he has proved himself in NXT over the last God knows how many years, probably the last 4 or 5 years that he's been with WWE, that he can work.
Yeah.
Now, yes, while he was in Undisputed Era, he was technically in Adam Cole's shadow, but now he's out of it. Push him fucking up that card and get him onto Cross.
Stop swearing.
Shut up. I'm in charge here.
Oh, you're not. Oh.
Either way, Tyler Rust, I haven't really seen much of his work, but what I have seen in NXT, it is
Good.
It is good. It has potential. And then Suzuki.
Nobody's seen anything what Suzuki
I haven't seen anything what he has done in NXT, but what he's done in Japan has been quite excellent. So I would like to see what they're going to do with that. And then you have Malcolm Bivens. I'm going to half away because that's what I'm knowing as. That is the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Malcolm Bivens is, don't take this as gospel, but he is Black Paul Heyman.
So I wasn't familiar with Malcolm Bivens before he came to NXT. He was managing in the share. They had one NXT tag title match, and then that was it. They were done. And now one of them's on the sidelines with something, and the other one's paired up with Jinder. I don't know how to wrestle Mahal.
True.
So,
and it's on main event, so nobody watches it.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody cares about main event. Like the only actual newsworthy thing that's happened on main event this week is Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed. That's the only newsworthy thing that's happened. And I watched the video of Karrion Kross's entrance at main event, and it looked bad. There was no special video effects. There was no smoke. It just looked awkward. And without Scarlett as well, it looked so awkward. But we're moving on to these things. Speculation of who is going to be added to Diamond Mine.
Onto what? Diamond Mine? Sorry.
Yeah, who do you think is going to be added? I'm going to put this out there first. I think Bobby Fish is going to get added because he's got the MMA background, and the vignettes had the MMA stuff, and I think Bobby would be an excellent fit to Diamond Mine.
And then you could have him feud with Kyle.
Yeah, or you have him with Pete. Camera's gone off.
Yeah, I know. My girlfriend's actually trying to phone me. Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby cut a promo a couple of weeks ago saying that he has unfinished business with Pete Dunne. So, okay, as unfinished with Pete Dunne, sort that out and then go to Diamond and then get added to Diamond Mine. Yes, it's another stable, but doesn't really. Bobby is a singles competitor at the minute. Doesn't intrigue me.
Yeah, Bobby's been very much Bobby Fish is very much known as a tag team wrestler, and he has been out with NXT as well. Yes, he had a shot at the Ring of Honor Television Championship, but that is the only kind of like major singles title he's had. And then Bobby Fish is actually getting to a fair age now where
he's almost 40.
I think he is actually in his 40s.
Exactly. Okay. I'm not saying this because of age sake, but NXT is supposed to be a developmental brand. Developmental brand. Jesus Christ, Tyler. Developmental brand, right? Why can't you move up the people that have been there for so long? Yes, I get it. People might not want to be moved up like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, but there is a few people that are getting to their silver age, golden age of their careers, like a Bobby Fish, where he could benefit going to the main roster, going to SmackDown, fighting for the Intercontinental Championship, maybe even put him in a tag team with like a submission specialist like Drew Gulak, for example, where you could push Drew Gulak as well, have them together. I'm pretty sure they weren't in Catch Point together, were they?
Who? Bobby Fish and
Bobby Fish
Drew
and Drew Gulak. They weren't, were they?
No,
But
no.
but
Catch
again,
point was Drew Gulak and Matt Riddle.
that was it. Right. Okay. Yeah. But this is
Shows Mumbles doesn't pay attention to the independents.
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah. I never used to pay attention to Impact, but there you go. Right. Damian Priest update. So, in an update with Damian Priest's absence, again, this is coming from Fightful because pretty much everything is coming from Fightful. There were rumors of a back injury, which have been denied to us. We have heard that will be available as soon as next week if WWE have creative plans for him. He has said to have been unavailable in the past couple of weeks or for other undisclosed reasons. At one point, WWE was hopeful that Priest could be involved in Money in the Bank qualifiers. We should specify that he may have been dealing with a back injury prior, but that was not confirmed for the reason he has missed time of late. So we knew going into WrestleMania, Priest had a back injury.
That's why it was made a tag team match for Bad Bunny.
And that's why Bad Bunny took the majority of the match.
Yeah.
Which is fine because Bad Bunny did.
Bad Bunny actually did pretty well, even though it's a celebrity match.
Exactly. I think he's one of in recent. So if you look at the Shaq match, you look at the Bad Bunny match, compare those two together. I preferred the Bad Bunny match to the Shaq match.
Yes, that's very much true.
So
because with the Shaq match, he was working with the wrong opponent.
Yeah, because it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
But again, I think Priest could be awesome in a Money in the Bank environment. He could have been awesome if he was there for the.
Look at NXT Takeover 30 or 31.
Yeah,
it was with that ladder match.
Exactly. If he has that match. He has ladder match experience.
Mm-hmm.
Even Ring of Honor when he was Punishment Martinez, I'm pretty sure he had ladder experience.
Oh God, his last man standing match with Silas Young. Holy that was a big one. Again,
this is WWE not pulling the trigger on people. Yes, he had which we'll get to a bit later. Which it goes to show. Yes, okay, he had a back injury, which is fine, but if they're going to be planning to bring him back, why did they not bring him back this week during the qualifiers where we could have had Riddle? We could have had Riddle versus Priest. We could have had Orton versus Priest. Ooh. We could have had Morrison versus Priest. We could have had we've seen AJ versus Priest. I've just thought about it now. We saw Morrison versus Priest like 6,000 times a few weeks ago. But again, having those, there was so many fresh matchups for those qualifiers. He didn't even have to win the qualifiers, right? It's putting him on the map. It was before Hell in the Cell. Bobby Lashley did an interview with Fightful, and he said a potential contender for he wants to get in with the ring with the likes of Priest, Riddle again. He wants to throw down with those people if the Brock Lesnar thing didn't turn out.
There's still money with that Lesnar deal though.
Oh yeah, there's still money.
But then, heck, it can still happen. It can still happen.
Yeah,
it could happen. We've got 2 months until fans come back. It can still happen. All you got to do is get Brock. No, we don't even have 2 months. It's literally next month all the fans come back. Oh, hey, because they're coming back at Money in the Bank, aren't they?
No, they come back. They come back on 6th. So they come back on the 16th, which is the SmackDown before Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
So we could see a lot of things. Right, let's move on to the most stupid story out this week.
The
WWE
WWE
WWE writer.
releases.
No.
Oh, the
No, okay.
Okay.
The second most stupid story of this week. WWE writer does not know Bobby Lashley's name. Right.
why? This is directly to WWE management. Why would you hire someone who doesn't know what they're doing? You wouldn't hire. Like, I've got a background in being an electrician. You wouldn't hire an electrician who doesn't know how to wire something up, because eventually you're going to get someone hurt or even worse.
Exactly. Right. So this transcript comes from Cultaholic. I'm going to say that outright because credit to Cultaholic to getting this. So, new WWE Raw writer Kenise Mobley started a debate this week after she appeared on the Asian Not Asian podcast and admitted she didn't know anything about wrestling and wasn't sure what WWE champion Bobby Lashley's name was. WWE hiring writers without prior knowledge of the product isn't anything new, but Mobley admitted her lack of knowledge openly did create a discussion. Word of Mobley's comments quickly made their way back to WWE, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer and the stand-up comedian and was under the gun for speaking publicly about something WWE didn't want talked about. The company was said to be embarrassed by the situation as it makes WWE look blindingly stupid to the outside world. Mobley isn't the only one under the gun in the company, though, and a source noticed to Meltzer that many writers are in the same situation. Mobley was recently hired by WWE as she has a background as a stand-up comedian. She has previously appeared on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, SiriusXM, NBC, and Vice News. Okay. Obviously, look at this before we get onto what's happened last night. This was so goddamn stupid, right? WWE, it's like hiring, like you said, it's hiring an electrician that doesn't know anything about being an electrician.
It's like if you're applying for any sort of job, doesn't matter if you're working as a labourer for a building firm or if you want to be CEO of WWE, do your research. You do not want to go into a job interview and know jack all about what you're going into.
Exactly that, right? How can you hire someone that is literally going in blind, right? They've hired a new writer because of a background in filmography and comedy. I'm going to say this right out of the bat. WWE comedy sucks.
Depends what, yeah, WWE comedy sucks, but when a WWE star does comedy,
when it's a naturally funny person that does it, like the New Day, Matt Riddle at the minute has been like one of the favorite things on Raw at the minute. RK Bro and sometimes and the dynamic between MVP and Kofi have been one of the best things on Raw. One of the best things on Raw. And they are 100% squandering their talent if they are not going to have a person come in that knows about wrestling. Right? Ross of Cultaholic did a video a few months ago, like hiring to be part of WWE. And he is perfect for the job.
it's like one of the right. It's like
but
just like
it literally says in the application, you don't need to know anything about wrestling.
wrestling.
What?
Why? You've got to remember, WWE is not a wrestling company. They are an entertainment company.
Well, they don't make wrestling.
They do not
make
understand
movies.
the word wrestling. They have WrestleMania. They are known as the World Wrestling Entertainment. They have actually, what they've done is they've bold, underlined, and highlighted the word entertainment.
Yeah. If WWE had its way, if Vince had its way, he would take the wrestling out of it, and we'll just be watching.
Oh, they would have been called. They would have been called something else by now.
Yeah. Anyway, this bleeds into our other major story that happened over last night. WWE releases.
So, do you want me to speak about this? So this is from
please.
So as of last night, according to Fightful, WWE have parted ways with Fandango, Tyler Breeze, Killian Dane, Maria Shafir, the NXT tag team known as Everrise, Arturo Ruas, and the 205 live wrestlers Tony Nese, Aria Daivari, the tag team of the Bollywood Boys, Austin Gray, and Kurt Stallion. Now, Fandango seemed to confirm his release last night with a follow tweet as he thanked WWE executives Vince, Stephanie, and Triple H. Fandango, who previously wrestled under the name Johnny Curtis, signed a development deal in WWE in 2006 and has been with the company for nearly 15 years.
Exactly. Okay, let me cut you off there. Nearly a decade and a half within the company. And he had a great debut as Fandango, beating Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 28. And then they did not capitalize on it. Like his song was like in the top 20 in iTunes in the UK.
Gosh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
So as we were saying, like we said, he broke into WWE and faced Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 29.
It's either 28 or 29, one of the two, but continue.
Yeah. So yes, he did end up forming a tag team partner with Tyler Breeze, and he did become big fan favorites on SmackDown in the 2016. Fandango did get injured in 2018 and did make his return 2 years ago in NXT, where they did eventually win the tag team championships this time last year. But it's been the only time both Breeze and Fandango have won championship. Now, speaking about Breeze, he's been with the company for nearly 11 years as well, and became the villainous male model in the early days of NXT, and he featured with big names of Balor, Zayn, and even the champion at the time, Neville. Now, but the biggest memorable match they've had is Breeze Brooklyn 2015, where he faced Jushin Thunder Liger, and that was Liger's only WWE match.
It's literally his only WWE sanctioned match. Yes, he wrestled in WCW, but this is completely different.
This is a different catfish.
I'm gonna go back and look at that. I'm gonna go back and watch that match anyway, because I've got to watch it for a rank them video that will be coming out.
I believe it's on YouTube as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I've got me and Jason will have a video coming out on all the NXT takeovers, like ranking all the NXT takeovers. I don't know when that's going to happen yet, so please don't quote me on it. But I'm not going to give a time span on it.
It's in the books.
It is in the works at the minute. Okay.
So,
but yes, I personally, I think Tyler Breeze is excellent. The stuff that he does on Up, Up, Down, Down. I watch them play Uno weekly. They even had one of them they finally did in person, but for literally over a year and a half, they've been doing that, and it's been excellent. It gives Adam Cole, aka Chugs, it gives Prince Pretty. it gives Cesaro, Mr. OP, or Swiss, and it gives Xavier Woods, Austin Creed another outlet if they're not wrestling. But the difference, I think the difference is with Xavier, Adam Cole, Cesaro, and Adam. Wait, have I said that already?
Adam Cole, Cesaro, Prince Pretty, and Xavier.
But the difference is Tyler Breeze hasn't been put on TV in a long time. I'm pretty sure it was like. I'm pretty sure.
Last match was just last week where they faced Imperium on NXT.
Yeah, but since then they haven't been on for like a month and a half. Where Cole, Cesaro, and Woods have been on TV pretty much weekly, and that was his only creative outlet.
Yeah.
So that one hurt. That one hits me hard because I love some of the stuff they were doing. Like the one on Wednesday was excellent. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it because it was freaking excellent.
Yeah.
But continue with the other releases.
So moving on, next Killian Dane.
Absolute ball. Like this is
he's been with the company for 5 years, and his great success, realistically, his success did come as part of Sanity. Sanity stable where he won the tag team championships.
This one wound me up so much, right? Because the only reason it wound me up is because me and you have watched what he's done in ICW,
WCPW, what he's done in
WCPW, right? What he's done in the British Indies. They did not capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Right, we could have literally had Killian Dane versus Drew McIntyre, freaking SummerSlam or Money in the Bank or something like that, right?
They did not versus Sheamus.
They did not capitalize on his raw talent. Yes, he was a big guy, but he's trimmed down massively since his time in WCPW. Go watch the first ever episode of WCPW. Where Big Damo is a big guy. Now look at him now. He is in phenomenal shape. Right?
Yeah.
And okay, I love the tag team with Drake Maverick. Absolutely love the tag team with Drake Maverick. They played off each other so well, and I really wanted a big payoff for that. And we can't get that now. This is that one and Tyler Breeze and even Fandango is the ones that hit me the most. But carry on.
Yeah, so game has been released. Next, Everrise, they were another fixture in the tag team division and have been receiving more airtime in the Black and Gold band. So Chase Parker and Matt Martell did sign with WWE in 2019, and they were utilized both on NXT and 205 Live, and both have had a fun and comedic arc, and last wrestled in this week's NXT, losing to Top Dollar and Ashley Adonis of Hit Row. But Everrise
was so funny. They were literally this year. They were like this era's version of Edge and Christian, to a certain extent.
To a certain extent,
like comedic timing. But anyway, continue with the other.
Next, Shafir, the wife of Roderick Strong, who signed in 2018. She's close friends with Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and Jessamine Dykes. The trio of Baszler, Shafir, and Duke did compete in NXT together all in 2018. Duke was released from her WWE contract last month, and with Shafir now released and Ronda not currently under contract, Baszler is now the only member of the MA4 Horsemen remaining in WWE. That could have been freaking money if they pulled the trigger.
There could have been so much money.
The only problem is Shafir and Duke were too. I'm going to say Shafir and Duke were actually too green.
Okay, there was a lot of money to be made with the 4 horsewomen of WWE and the 4 horsewomen of MMA to have that match. There was a lot of money left. There's been a lot of money left on the table. Okay, yes. One of the teams would have had to be a heel. One of the other teams would have had to be the face. I think you could have benefited with 4 horsewomen of MMA being the heels, and then the 4 horsewomen of WWE being the face. But the only problem is Bayley's a heel, Charlotte's a heel, Sasha is sort of a heel and a tweener, and Becky Lynch hasn't been on TV since May last year.
Yeah, but this is when they should have done this. Probably around Survivor Series.
I think
2 years ago when it was Ronda versus Charlotte.
Yeah, I also think they should have done it in the build up to Mania. Of Mania 35. That could have been a really cool dynamic of maybe at Fastlane they have, instead of having have it at Elimination Chamber, instead of having Ruby Riott versus Ronda, you have the 4 horsewomen of MMA versus the 4 horsewomen of WWE, and you can play off the dynamic of Charlotte Flair once in that match. Right? And that can play in the story. But anyway, please continue with the other ones.
So next is Arturo Ross, he was in the development of the deal since 2015, but yes, he's been used sparingly on NXT. Now he did get a call up in the main roster in 2020 and did appear on Raw Underground, but he did get sent back to NXT back in November, where he did suffer a bicep injury. Now there's nothing really else of Arturo Ross to mention, but we'll move on to NXT 205 Live wrestlers Tony Nese, Ariya Daivari, and the Bollywood Boys, all who signed in 2016 after competing in the original Cruiserweight Classic, and they've been used on subsequent features on 205 Live. Nese even won the Cruiserweight Championship back at WrestleMania 35, and he did hold it for over 2 months. Nese did tweet the following after his WWE departure. Thank you, now, and I quote, "Thank you, everyone. I don't care about how unwatched and appreciate 205 was, but I busted my ass every single time I stepped foot in the ring, doing whatever was asked of me with no questions asked. I cannot wait to be the type of employee for someone else."
Okay, I think he could benefit going to Impact. Put him in the X division.
He will be X division.
Put him in the X division.
I don't. Impact
and
probably be
even with PWG making the return, he could go back to PWG.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that. Him versus Bandido. That would be great. But anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Let's
rattle through these because we've got we've got a few more stories.
Yeah, we've got a few more stories. The Bollywood Boys, Samir and Sunil, who wrestled as the Singh brothers, they were managed by Jinder Mahal between 2017 and 2019. They did play a big role in Mahal winning and holding the WWE the championship for 6 months. Next one's Austin Gray and Kurt Stallion did become a part of the 205 Live roster after signing with WWE last year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That's really poor.
Last August. It was last August.
Yeah, they've been there for like less than a year, and they did also compete in NXT on occasion.
I'm pretty sure Kurt Stallion's injured.
I believe he is. Now, Austin Gray did lose about 3 weeks ago to the Grizzlies Young Veterans on an NXT TV match, but I believe last night's episode of 205 Live is Austin Gray's last match, and he did put on Twitter, this is meant to be a loser leaves town match.
I honestly think it's great that he's making fun of. I think it's great that he's making light of the situation. To be honest, that's my honest answer. But anyway, let's continue because.
And also, Daivari is also meant to have a scheduled match on 205 Live against Jiro. I'm not too sure of this, but this marks the 3rd round of talent cuts by WWE since Mania 37. And this is also, as we've previously reported, those big names does include Braun Strowman, Aleister Black, both members of the Iconics, and Mickie James.
Okay, so I think we missed out a few of them there. Tino Sabatelli was
That was
reported by
that was not
that
announced last night, very late.
that
That's
that
not
was
part of
that
the
was last night,
report.
very late. I think personally, I didn't like Tino Sabatelli. I think he was. This is the other thing as well, Callum. This is the second time he's been fired by them because he did appear on AEW Dark a few times, and he was WWE Snitch.
Yeah, right. So he was hired. So he was in WWE. He got fired. He then got hired by AEW, but he wasn't very much used. As we said, he was only used for Dark. I believe the only reason he got into AEW is because of certain individuals currently in the company.
Yep. I don't know who.
And now, but now he went back to WWE. WWE rehired him, and they haven't used him in NXT since. I think it was more just he hit the. It may have been the point for WWE saw what he did on Dark and like, oh wait, what the fuck have we done, and hired him back up. But knew since he was releasing All Elite results before they actually aired, this may have hindered his chances.
I honestly don't care what Tino Sabatelli does. I follow him on Twitter, but I could not give an absolute F word what he's gonna do.
I'm realistically, I can't see stability staying in wrestling.
No, and also Kenise Mobley was released as well. The WWE writer.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Apparently it's nothing to do with the concern. Apparently it was nothing to do with this comments she's made. Apparently it was an ever-growing concern. I don't know where the report is, so I do apologize, but go look it up. Right, anyway, we have got some Fightful Select notes on these releases.
Yeah, let's see what Sean says to say.
So, SRS said Nick Khan led a meeting early Friday afternoon and made decisions on numerous cuts. Fightful learned as an application multiple names we have heard were set to be released have not yet. However, there were several names that ended up getting released and we hadn't heard prior, and at times this year WWE wrestlers have been saved from the chopping block. Several WWE live wrestlers were fired on higher contracts than WWE and has been given out for work on that brand as of late. We were told that Tony Nese particularly has a 90-day no compete clause. However, August Gray has a 30-day, so that shows there's a varying amount. Since this update, SRS actually tweeted out saying, since then, SRS has been contacted by WWE sources and said this was nothing to do with Tony Khan. Not Tony Khan, Nick Khan. I absolutely think that is a load of effing gospel.
I am sorry, Nick Khan.
All the
releases just new, I believe, is due to Nick Khan wanting to sell WWE. He is honestly. Nick Khan is Russo and Cornette are bad in the wrestling business. No. Khan in WWE is honestly. He must be manipulating Vince. And Vince is like, honestly, I would be surprised if Hunter doesn't want to knock down his freaking door.
Yeah, it absolutely freaking winds me out. Wound me up big time.
That's why
Khan is the reason all these people have been released, because he's a majority shareholder, I think, and he's going to look to sell WWE. Yes, there is a lot of speculation of like, oh, they're not going to sell, but I think they are. They got rid of one of the guys that was on the biggest contract in Braun Strowman.
They're so tight in towers as well.
Exactly. They're moving. They're moving to a new headquarters at some point. Exactly. Yeah. So this is I 100%. I don't want to go on this anymore because Nick Khan absolutely winds me up.
This will be another video. This will be a video for a later time.
This could be another. This literally could be another video for another time. With the fact that Nick Khan is literally damaging WWE to a point where it's unsavable. That is my opinion, and me and Callum will probably do a video on this because we are both equally annoyed about this, and I reckon we should because it's content as well. But anyway, in some more lighter news, Edge is back.
Yay!
This was an absolute surprise last night. Nobody knew prior that he was going to be there. So, Edge returned last night in the last segment of NXT, not NXT, SmackDown, attacking Roman. He and Edge had a massive brawl. Edge got the upper hand going for a concerto. And here's the big story point until Jimmy Uso made the save and Roman ran away. That is the biggest story part of the fact that Edge has swooped in, going for the concerto, and not Jay, but Jimmy coming in to save him. And that, I think, that is so much story development of the fact that Jay hasn't been there. I think Jay hasn't been there, so Jimmy has to fill his role. But this is the other thing as well. We don't get proper surprises anymore. And
not really,
Edge, because everything is leaked nowadays. And I think this was a huge surprise seeing Edge. And this will be a great Money in the Bank match because one, he didn't get his one-on-one match at WrestleMania like he was supposed to, and two, he's coming back from the humiliation of being stacked and pinned.
True as well.
So there was already a story going in, and I'm more than happy for this. I've seen a lot of people online, particularly SRS, like, I'm not happy about this. I'm not happy with the fact that they're rehashing this and revisiting it. I was like, fine by me, SRS, but Anyway, final story of this very long recording of me ranting about people and everything like that. But again, I think
what was rant?
I know, right? Me ranting about people, but again, this was kind of like a last minute thing of the fact that there was going to be we were already going to do a news video anyway with other updates throughout the week that we got, but because this has taken so long because of the WWE releases, so I do apologize. If you want to skip ahead to the releases, then fine. If you don't want to even watch the video, then fine. But at the end of the day, I've had fun doing this as much as I've ranted and really annoyed with stuff. Anyway, final story. More NXT stars backstage at SmackDown. We've seen Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed work dark matches and main event tapings over the past week or two, but it isn't stopping there. Scarlett and Shotzi Blackheart are both backstage at SmackDown tonight. I keep saying NXT, and we're planning to compete on a dark match. We will work to find out more notes. So I updated that when I got the thing. Let's see if there is an update on the old Fightful app. No, there isn't. But again, the WWE are looking to have people come in. I think having Scarlett separate from Karrion is the most stupid WWE idea ever.
Yeah.
You disagree with me? Oh, I thought you were disagreeing with me then.
I'm 100% agreeing with you. Splitting up Karrion Kross and Scarlett is the worst decision you can make. It's like, okay, don't hate me on this, but it's like when Lana was with Rusev.
Yeah.
It is, you have the beautiful blonde, you have the beauty, and then you have the beast.
Yeah.
You do not split them up.
okay. If they want Scarlett to wrestle, fine, but put Scarlett with Carrion. You can have a manager that wrestles, and you can have a big guy that she manages wrestle. Scarlett doesn't.
TNA and Trish.
But this is the other thing as well. Scarlett doesn't talk for Carrion, right? Mm. She rarely talks for Carrion because Carrion can cut a decent program.
Yeah,
exactly. But they're so intertwined. Splitting them up is the most stupidest idea. One because we saw it on Main Event. Karrion Kross's entrance looked shockingly bad.
Yeah, you didn't hate the smoke. You don't hate the smoking mirror. It's generic. This guy 274.
Yeah, exactly. It feels generic. Yes, the song's great and everything like that, but it feels generic as hell. Scarlett's gonna wrestle, fine, but like I said, keep her with Karrion Kross. Shotzi Blackheart, okay. Shotzi Blackheart is back. I'm pretty sure she was out. It was a kayfabe injury, I think, for a little bit. But why? This is the other thing. This is what's annoyed me the most with the main event stuff with Bronson Reed and Karrion Kross. NXT is supposed to be a developmental brand, right? As much as nobody wants to admit it, it is supposed to be a developmental brand. Why can't the guys that are looking to call these people up, watch them in NXT? Yes, probably the story beats and everything like that, but it's just a wind up. Because you've wasted a Bronson Reed and Karrion Kross debut on main event that nobody bloody watches.
It's like it's like Bronson Reed. Yes, he's a face, but you could have done the exact same with how Samoa Joe came in. Samoa Joe came in as Triple H's heavy. With the Seth Rollins Triple H feud back in when was that, WrestleMania 33, 34, something like that. Bronson Reed could have been the heavy for a much smaller guy, like, I don't know, like say the Miz, for example.
No.
But you know what I mean. He could have been a heavy for a much smaller, hungrier, much smaller wrestler.
Honestly, it just winds me up so much. Where WWE, this is the other thing as well. If you guys watched my news video from last week, Vince McMahon knows the product is stale. Right, and you saw me walk. Yes, it was probably a bit of a gag, me walking off the screen, but okay, it was a gag. Let's be honest, it was a gag of me pulling off the screen. But it kind of shows how frustrated I was because they do fucking nothing. They do nothing to make this brand matter anymore. Right, the only highlights in WWE at the minute is Roman, RK Bro, and the dynamic between Kofi and MVP, which has only kind of sort of happened in the last couple of weeks. I am sick to fucking death of watching the same match every day, every single week on Monday Night Raw, on SmackDown. Right? NXT is completely different. AEW is completely different as well because they make shit matter. And I've swore like 3 times, I don't care. But they make stuff matter.
Yeah.
You know, you have such an array of talent and you put them in the same fucking matches. It's like deja vu. Instead of calling it Monday Night Raw, they should be calling it Monday Night Deja Vu. They might. It might as well be.
This has been a problem for us fucking long.
It just might. It just might be. It might as well be a +1 show. Like you get the E4 +1 and like ITV4 +1.
Yeah.
Like it might as well be that because it's the same shit over and over again. Yes. Okay. Yes. Raw this week was great, but that's because they had the qualifiers.
And they had the Hell in a Cell. Was it last week or this week they had the Hell in a Cell match?
It was Bobby versus Woods in the Hell in a Cell match,
Myself.
which is even more fucking stupid, because they're the only reason coughing, the only fucking reason that they had that was because Fox got one, and because WWE has to please fucking everyone, USA got one.
Mm. But
right?
the only reason
it is the
only reason Fox got one in the first place was because Roman was meant to be going away, was actually meant to be on holiday for the Hell in a Cell weekend.
It is the shortest it is literally the shortest fucking build for a Hell in a Cell match, which clocks in about 2.5 hours, right? For a build for a Hell in a Cell match. Do you remember when Hell in a Cell used to matter? The Cactus Jack versus Triple H.
Triple H versus Undertaker at Mania.
Yeah. Exactly. These are Hell in a Cell is supposed to be a feud ender, right?
Mm.
It gets to a point where the feud has gotten to its boiling point and it needs to end in a big, massive match. That's what Hell in a Cell used to be. Now it's just a piece of shit. Now it's just a structure. It's just a toy. Right? It's just there to sell toys. And that red structure is so distracting. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, put it back to silver, for fuck's sake.
Anyway,
Right.
Exactly. Anyway, we should cut it off here because I'm now.
But Mumbles, before we break off, I would like to say one thing. Last week you announced the commissioner of Last Man Standing. I would like to make a message direct to the commissioner.
Okay.
I may not be able to fight for the championship, but I may be able to fight you. Dylan, I am challenging you to cards subject to change. I am challenging Dylan to a one-on-one match at SummerSlam. If I lose, I will no longer post anything about the PWC in Last Man Standing, and I will shave and put into the group. I will pull off the Hogan mustache.
Oh yes! I love it. I love it.
If I win, Dylan still gets to be commissioner, but I get to be everything. I get.
In other words, you want to be his right hand bitch.
Wow. No, he'll be my bitch once I'm dealt with him at SummerSlam.
Right. Anyway, we'll think of something. Dylan,
we'll think of something. But
you've got some time. Oh, and Leon, if you're looking for a respond to your little promo that you decided to hack onto the last news video, you can wait, mate. And guys, that is it for the news. That has been Scottish Mumbles, Callum Bruce. I have been the original Mumbles, Tyler Woodward. And guys, we shall see you on the next one.